Hey guys, it's Kazi here, and we have the next Dokkan Fest that's coming to Dokkan, I guess now. Almost wanted to say Global Dokkan, but just Dokkan period now. It's gonna be the STR Perfect Cell. So this guy, real quick, getting to this a little bit late. There's a lot of backlash on him. He's not exactly the perfect, well-structured character that we've been seeing very recently for the 10th year units. I know there's only been a couple of them, but there's really only been like one or two cracks in armor, which was, of course, the STR Vegeta. And then, I mean, you could argue the Gohan, but the Gohan's pretty dang good. But yeah, this guy is looking like the second of the stinkers, so we're gonna go straight right here. The leader skill, tournament participants, or Worldwide Chaos, category key 3, HP 200, attack and defense 170, and it's going to get an additional 50 HP attack and defense for androids or accelerated battle. So what this means is, well, for one, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of Gokus on accelerated battle, specifically like Super Saiyan 3 Gokus. So you can get some really solid teams for this guy. So while this team is more than likely going to be pretty much just purely extreme if you're running him, you actually could get some pretty solid Gokus. You can get some solid Gohans in here as well because of the tournament participants, which is like all the cell game stuff. And then two, that accelerated battles is actually going to cover at least some of those guys as well. So you can get the full 250, 220, 220 for some of these cards. I might actually have to pull that up and just see like exactly who you can get them on. It's not going to be a lot, but you're not like 1000% locked into extreme, which is really good. Meaning that if you don't have like the deepest of boxes, you can go ahead and throw on like a Super Saiyan 2 Goku or something like that, and at the bare minimum, at least get like the tournament participants. So just gonna go ahead and move straight forward onto the this passive is like there's a whole lot of like nothing going on right here because a lot of this is tied to this revival skill. So let's just go ahead and jump straight into the entrance. So as soon as he comes in, all you need is a tournament participants category enemy or another tournament participants category ally at the start of a character's attacking turn. I like the enemy portion of this. This is really good, meaning that like, you know, eventually his team's gonna fall out of power if it even has any when it drops. But you're not gonna be able to necessarily always be able to bring another tournament participants category ally. So as long as you're fighting the enemy, you're still gonna be able to get this. High chance of performing a crit, launches an additional super attack, and creates the domain cell games arena for 5 turns. So, I mean, he just gets this. High chance, launches an additional. So, I mean, that's pretty dang good for an entrance. And then the cell games arena, we'll see it a little bit later on. But it's just a whole bunch of stats for a couple of different categories, specifically like tournament participants and stuff like that. But we'll see that in just a second. Base effects are going to be key 2. So, nice, he gives himself some key. Attacking defense 200. Damage reduction rate of 20, which we've seen a lot of those already. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. Okay. When there is a tournament participants category enemy, attacking defense of 50. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack 150, which is really good to see. You want to see that multiplicative buff when he's attacking. That's going to make really big damage numbers. For every attack performed, defense 30% up to 150. Okay. So, I mean, this is really going to start kicking in right here. And this is just, remember, this is attack performed. So it could be normals, it could be super attacks, etc. You already have the additional attack right here, which is guaranteed launches an additional attack, and it's a great chance of becoming a super. And then in your entrance animation, you already are going to launch an additional super attack. So you're going to build this defense up rather quickly. When the character is KO'd, revives when HP is fully recovered. After the character or an ally's revival skill is activated, damage reduction rate of 30% temporarily when receiving a super attack. Okay, so only when you're going to receive a super attack. After an ally's revival skill is activated. Okay. Or the character. Okay, so either way, if you revive, you're going to get this. And then after the character's revival skill is activated, damage reduction rate of 15% guards all attacks. Okay, so this is where a lot of the controversy is. So when the character is KO'd, he's going to revive. That means that you yourself, Cell, have to die and come back. You can't like you can't just have anybody in the rotation die and then you're going to revive. Meaning that he's not going to protect the rotation at like all with his revive. He specifically has to die. And I'll go ahead and explain a little bit more about that in just 1 second. But he specifically has to die to get these big buffs down here. Specifically, this one you don't need. This one says, or an ally's revival skill is activated, and then you get the damage reduction rate of 30% temporarily, not always temporarily, when receiving a super attack. You don't have scouters, so there's not really a way of you figuring out where the super attack is with this guy. You just have to kind of get lucky. Or have like scouters on some other characters on his team. But after the character's revival skill is activated, so his skill, he has to die to activate his revival skill, by the way, guys. He has to die to get that revival skill. Then you get the damage reduction rate of 15 and guards all attacks. Another big thing too is, because you can only revive once in a game, right? One run, you can only revive once. Meaning that if you run a double lead of this guy, which is, I mean, what you want to do, right? With this thing, you want to run a double lead. Only one of the cells is going to get to revive. So either yours, or chances are it's going to be the friend 100% cell that you bring in, right, for the friend unit. That's terrible, because you're going to have this guy kind of like a sitting duck. Yes, he will get this because the other cell will activate his revival skill. But unless there's like some like hidden play or something to where as long as like a perfect cell's revival skill activates, you get this too. I don't think he's going to get this when he revive. I'm pretty sure this is locked into one character. Yes, we will have to wait and see when the card drops and people are going to do like all the testing. But how this is worded basically means that only one cell, if you're bringing two, which you more than likely are because you're going to want to run this guy as a leader. He's a 250, 220, 220 lead. Only one of them is going to get like the guard and then the indefinite 15% damage reduction. They'll both get this damage reduction rate of 30 when receiving a super attack, but they won't both get this. That's really my only gripe with this unit. I guess we'll just keep moving on. That's what I've seen for the controversy. Like I said, this is speculative. The card's not out. When he comes out, we'll do the testing and stuff for him. But how it's worded, that's what that means. Meaning only one cell is actually going to get like full powered. It's not going to be both cells when they activate the revival skill, because like I said, you can only die and come back once. So you can only activate one revival skill. Go ahead and move forward. So for his active skill, Deadly Showdown begins. Can be activated when HP is 70% or less, or starting from the 4th turn from the character's entry turn. Key 2, attacking defense 35% of battle. Just stats. No like no sort of like a little bit of HP boost like we saw with the new kid Goku for Saiyan Day. It's just stats. What's this link said? Gentleman, Messenger from the Future. Okay, it's Big Bad Bosses. We got some solid ones right here. He's got a couple of links too that are going to pair with some Gokus like Kamehameha, Shock and Speed, Fierce Battles. So that's good right there. Let me see. Powerful like Sworn Enemy, Star Goku. He just has the typical perfect cell. Yeah, he just has the typical perfect cell set. Go ahead and move forward. Greatly raises attacking defense for 1 turn, causes the most damage to enemy. That's it. It's not a tackle or nothing like that. And here it goes. Here's the domain. I think this is the last thing we're going to talk about before we talk about the side burning unit. So, tournament participants category, enemies and allies attacking defense 15. Android or Android Cell Saga category, enemies and allies attack 15% as well. 30% support for 5 turns is pretty good. That's how long the Cell Games Arena lasts. Let me just make sure. For 5 turns, yeah, 5 turns. That's a lot of support right there. That's essentially like, well, no, it's a bit better than support memories. And you're going to be running the Android Cell Saga support memory as well. And I'm going to do another video right after this covering like all the new events that we have coming. I think there's going to be like a buff or something. There's another support memory coming for the story stages and stuff like that. So maybe it might be like an even better Android Cell Saga one. We have a pretty solid one that is, I think it should be due for an Easy Ace soon, and it's going to make like this specific category like way stronger, kind of like how the Goku family Super Battle Road support memory got like way stronger when it Easy 8. Like it's gonna be something along the lines of this. So this is just like overall really good to have. But I mean, if this card is how it says it is in actuality, if that's how the revival mechanics work, just exactly how it's stated, then this card is really not going to be something that you chase for. Go ahead and just click through these real quick. We have the new Android 18 right here. It's gonna be the side banner. Just go and just click World Tournament, Peppy Gals. That's interesting. World Tournament instead of tournament participants. Attacking defense 180, launches an additional attack, has a great chance. Rainbow Orb Changer, all ally support. That's good. I love to see all ally support instead of just like specific ally support. Oh, here's specific ally support right here. Category ally. Okay, that's good. So all ally support, and then an additional tournament participants ally support for crit as well as attack and defense. Okay. When attacking with Total Marquee. Okay, that's pretty good. Multiplicative buff on the attack. And then when 3 or more tournament participants, category allies are on the team, high chance of performing a crit. Launch an additional. Okay, that's a high chance. Increased chance of evading is a second. I like to see that second or third attacker great. Okay, that's good. That's good. She's pretty dang good. They're doing really, really good with the side bounding units, especially like recently. I don't want to just say in this year. Well, if we encompass the entirety of the year from like when I'm talking like right now, like all the way back to 2024, around like April-ish, they're doing really good. It's like an entire 12 months of just like really solid side banner units. And battlefield, yeah, just androids, attack and defense for 1 turn greatly. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and great chance. And great chance. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's gonna be really, really good for things like super battle, road, if you guys haven't finished those up and stuff like that. Because let me just see, what are her categories? Will turn Peppy's siblings, worthy right? Yeah, like siblings, worthy rivals, battle of wits. These are like really solid categories that can really use some nice android buffs right here. Tournament participants is also like one that's kind of like eh. And then Peppy Gals is always good to get buffs for. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it right there. Yeah, that's it for the sidebar, and that's it for the new perfect cell. Let me know what you guys think. This guy, I'm hoping this is just worded incorrectly, and we could do like well, I don't want to say worded incorrectly. I hope this is worded in a better way than I'm assuming it's worded, meaning that after the character's revival skills activated, this will count for both the friend and your unit. I hope that's how it works, because if that's how it works, this card can actually do some it can actually hold down the fort. I know you're going to be chasing like this guy specifically getting knocked out, but trust me, it's going to be all the more worth it if you can actually chase that and get that. If both your cell and then the friend cell get this guards all attacks, and then this additional damage reduction of 15, he's a really solid card if you can make them both do it. But unfortunately, if you have to chase this and you still run the risk of one of your cards or one of your cells not having this additional buff, unfortunately, he's just a very, very skippable unit, and you can go ahead and wait for things like Golden Week and stuff to come up. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you all later.